The release of Borderlands 3 in September is soon upon us, and with that we'll likely be treated to a host of characters from past games. Borderlands as a franchise is such that the games have accumulated an expansive lore, and by this third mainline game we can expect that there exists lots of backstory. Leading up to Borderlands 3's release, we will be producing a handful of character backstory videos on select Borderlands figures, people who may either appear directly in the game or whose legacy is such that it has a lasting impact on the franchise, in whatever form that may be, either within the game or for our own enjoyment as the audience. This video is on Sir Hammerlock, first name Alistair, a name or names that Borderlands fans will be especially privy to as they are more acquainted with DLC offerings in past Borderlands titles. But his presence isn't exclusive to that. He's a recurring friendly presence throughout Borderlands 2, the game in which he first appears. He is the first friendly NPC that you meet in the game, repairing Claptrap's eye early on. Native to the planet of Hermes rather than Pandora, Sir Hammerlock stylizes himself as a researcher, a student of the wildlife and plant life of the planet, and sports artificial limbs after an ill-fated encounter with Old Slappy. He's since taken less of an active role in his researching, at times doling out missions for the Vault Hunters and needing help fleshing out his almanac. Sir Hammerlock isn't a prominent story figure within Borderlands 2 or in the succeeding title Borderlands the PreSequel, which takes place between Borderlands 1 and 2. However, he is a central figure in 2 DLC campaigns for Borderlands 2. The first DLC campaign in which he figures prominently is Sir Hammerlock's Big Game Hunt, one of the Season 1 DLC offerings for Borderlands 2. It sees the heroes traveling to the foreign continent of Agris on Pandora. It's an old-fashioned hunting and research expedition, a classic adventure as you might expect when dealing with a person such as Sir Hammerlock, with Agris itself being a continent of swampland, rife with scorpions and native warriors that impede your progress. The main enemy of the campaign is Professor Nakayama, a cowardly, perennially anxious and incompetent researcher who is fixated with Handsome Jack and seeks to clone him. Sir Hammerlock accompanies you as you make your way through the continent of Agris, with the story of the DLC campaign beginning with you locating Hammerlock and protecting him while he repairs a boat. Later, you and your team of Vault Hunters will be taking on more savage creatures such as the Thermitage, a large scorpion-like monster, along with other abominations as is dictated by the missions within Big Game Hunt. Later in the campaign, you will be destroying samples of Handsome Jack's DNA, of importance to the villain Professor Nakayama, whose grudge against you for killing Handsome Jack is borderline personal for Jack beyond deranged. After defeating the strange wound spike boss, a Borak with a mask in the likeness of Handsome Jack affixed to its front, Professor Nakayama, in a fit of high agitation, reveals that the last remaining piece of Handsome Jack's DNA lies with him in his base on Agris, the HSS Terminus, setting up for one final showdown with the Professor, but for his general reluctance to fight you directly. At this point, Sir Hammerlock's disdain and unwillingness to take Nakayama seriously are made far too plain, and neither are we as the gamers and audience meant to take such a buffoon so seriously. But a major problem for you in stopping Nakayama is his strongest creation, the Jackenstein, a fusion of Agris wildlife and plant life with Hyperion Corporation implants. With the Jackenstein defeated, Nakayama psychs himself up to take you on, but falls down a set of stairs to his death. Sir Hammerlock congratulates you on taking out Nakayama and prepares to hand you your big reward for the mission, closing out his Big Game Hunt. However, Sir Hammerlock is a central figure in another DLC campaign in the Season 2 set of the Borderlands 2 DLC offerings, with the one that he's featured in called Sir Hammerlock versus the Son of Cromorax, the latter of which is alternatively known as the Invincible Son of Cromorax the Invincible, and also specifically being the son of Cromorax the Invisible from the first Borderlands game. All of that is a lot of breath for one measly enemy, but this measly enemy is presenting us and Sir Hammerlock with a big problem. Sir Hammerlock is being held captive, and it's up to us to find a way to defeat the infernal Son of Cromorax. Whereas Big Game Hunt saw you wading through caves and swamplands on the dreary continent of Agris, you'll be treated to a much more fun and tropical location, beaches, trees, and blue skies for the adventure. Sir Hammerlock is lifted from the retirement cottages after we meet him, taken by a crabworm and then by warriors native to the island who want to sacrifice Sir Hammerlock to the son of Cromerax. The main mission of the campaign sees you trying to find a way to locate the captive Sir Hammerlock. After some trial and error, the heroes find the right setup and allocation that they need, and make their way to the boss of the DLC campaign, the second name in the title of the DLC, with us taking the side of Sir Hammerlock against the son of Cromerax. Cromerax the Invincible was supposed to be invincible, per the title, but as with the first game, a title is nothing. Defeating the son of Cromerax, who is clearly not invincible, will complete the main story mission of the DLC campaign. Clearing this main mission opens up a side mission that starts with a conversation with Sir Hammerlock but is interrupted by Sparky Flint, who demands that you challenge his group, the Victims of Vault Hunters, a league of awfuls who claim personal slights in their past that were unduly meted out by other Vault Hunters. Defeat all 6 of these vengeful types and speak to Sir Hammerlock to clear the side mission. That concludes his appearances in Borderlands 2. Sir Hammerlock also appears in Borderlands the PreSequel in a side mission wherein Sir Hammerlock seeks to smuggle threshers to Pandora. For someone interested in wildlife and plant life, it's a dangerous and strange idea, as it could threaten the ecosystem of the planet of Pandora. That aside, Sir Hammerlock and Torg also narrate an introduction video for Borderlands the PreSequel, a promotional video made by Gearbox Software and published a little less than a month ahead of the prequel's release. Sir Hammerlock's sister, Aurelia, is also a playable DLC character for the prequel, with Aurelia also being the heir to the Hammerlock family fortune. But as it turns out, Sir Hammerlock absolutely cannot stand Aurelia, seeing her as a pampered woman whose station is due to a brazen disregard for all sorts of life, human, animal, and plant. His hate for her further amplified by her teasing Hammerlock for decades, ultimately rejecting a request she made to him to accommodate her. But strangely, we'll be seeing both Sir Hammerlock and Aurelia in Borderlands 3. Promotional media for Borderlands 3 has already surfaced with the 2 siblings next to each other, along with a third unidentified male character, perhaps another Hammerlock sibling? In any case, the spirited and sometimes inappropriate Sir Hammerlock is already confirmed to appear in Borderlands 3. Since Borderlands 3 will take place on both Pandora and a new planet called Promethea, it'll be interesting to see how Hammerlock finds his way to the new planet. Promethea is not like Pandora. Promethea is highly futuristic and metropolitan, full of buildings. What wildlife or plant life even exists there for him, a researcher of ecosystems? Between the Calypso twins and the Hammerlock siblings, sister-brother teams are all the rage in Borderlands 3. We should expect some sort of friendly presence from Sir Hammerlock in the game, even if he won't be majorly defining the story. Tell us what you think of Sir Hammerlock. He's been focused on quite a bit compared to other minor characters. Have you had enough of him? Do you want more? Or do you think we've got just the right amount of Sir Hammerlock? What do you expect from him in Borderlands 3? Let us know in the comments section below. As always, thanks for watching. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, please hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to switch on the notifications bell icon next to it. That way you'll never miss any of our videos. Thanks for watching.